Hey guys, it's your girl Brittany and I'm back with another video. Yes, I'm wearing the same clothes, same hairstyle in the video that you saw probably last week. I don't know how I'm doing everything out. I made a whole bunch of videos, recording them. I'm gonna edit them and then put them up. But it's the same day that I made that half an hour's pregnant video. So I'm gonna let y'all know about the reactions this time. So after I found out I was pregnant, yeah, I cried. I didn't say that in the last video, but I cried because I was like shocked, happy, sad. It was just like a lot of emotions was just going on. But I ended up calling my fiance first. Yeah, calling my fiance first and letting him know that I was pregnant. And I was still kind of crying then, and so he was like what's wrong, like what happened, what did the doctor tell you? And I just came out with it and I was like, I'm pregnant. And he was like quiet at first, and then he was like, I knew you was pregnant. I was like, you ain't know nothing. And he was like, yes I did, like I really did know you was pregnant, because he was like throwing up. He was eating a lot. He was like basically he had pregnancy symptoms, and he was like, I knew you was pregnant. And he was like, I just didn't say anything. He was like, but I knew it. And I forgot stuff in another video too. We were gonna go get a pregnancy test in like a few days before I went to the doctor. But I was like, I felt like I was not, so I was like, no, I'm going to the doctor. So he was like, I got to my mama and my sister and everything like that. And I was like, well, don't tell nobody yet. And he was like, well, why not? And I was like, now I'm not for abortion. I know there's a big thing going on right now. I'm not for abortion for myself, but there was a lot going on because me and my fiance, we had a lot of personal stuff going on. And at that time, like before I even found out I was pregnant, I was thinking about breaking up with him and just like, you know, going our own ways and just taking some time apart. And no, I didn't stay in a relationship because I was pregnant. We just ended up working through what was going on, and then I ended up finding out I was pregnant. But I was like, do you even wanna have a baby and stuff like that? And he was like, yeah. And he was like, I've been wanting you to be pregnant, like for real, y'all. That first year we was together, he wanted to try and get me pregnant. Like, no, what are you doing? But yeah, he was like, yeah, I've been wanting you to be pregnant. I've been wanting to have a baby with you and da. And I was just like, well, how you feel about abortion? And he was like, huh? And I was like, we don't need to be having no baby right now. We got too much stuff going on right now. I was in between jobs at that point because I had just quit my job. It was a lot. It was a lot going on, and I was like, I can't take care of a baby right now. And I think that's just like that first initial shock of me like finding out that I'm actually pregnant. And I thought about having an abortion, but I would have never went through with it. Like I would have thought about it like I did, but I would have never went through to it because that's a lot of stress on your body. And I heard that like a lot of people that like once you go through abortion you can't get pregnant again. I mean, I know some people can, but like some people, like it messes up their body and they can't have kids, and I always wanted to have kids. And so he was like, honestly, I don't want you to have an abortion. And he was like, but it's all up to you, it's your body, and if that's what you really want to do, he was like, then we can do it. And he was like, but I don't want you to have an abortion. And I was just like, well, I'm just gonna think about it. And I was like, I'm gonna tell my mom when she comes to pick me up, because her boyfriend had dropped me off, because I didn't have my own car at that time. Her boyfriend had dropped me off to the doctor, and she was like, she was gonna come pick me up. And so we talked and everything like that. And then I ended up hanging up with him, and he was gonna call his mom and tell her and everything like that. That's what he said. And I ended up going back inside to wait on my mama, and I called my best friend, and I was crying because I didn't know what to do. And I was telling her that like I was pregnant and stuff like that, and she was happy, but she knew like how I was feeling, because she knows like what a lot of me and my fiance have been through and stuff like that. And so she was just giving me like words of encouragement and stuff like that. And I was telling her how like I was scared to tell my people and stuff like that, because my people think that like I'm the good child, like, cause my sister, my older sister put them through hell, okay? And so like I was like the good child, okay? And so I was scared to tell them, you know, that I was pregnant. And like she was just, you know, she was excited for me and stuff like that. And she was like, you know, like my best friend, like she my rock and stuff like that. And she was like she was gonna be there, and what she was. And I think I ended up calling my boyfriend back, and we were just talking. And then my mama came and picked me up, and like I was trying so hard not to cry, y'all. And she was like, so what did the doctor say? No. I called my mama after I hung up with my best friend, and she was like, what did the doctor say, all on the phone, shit like that. And I was like, I'll tell you when you get here. And she was like, well, why can't you tell me on the phone? And I was just like, because I'll just tell you when you get here. And like she was just trying to get me to tell her on the phone, and I was sitting there about to cry on the phone. And I was like, I'll just tell you when I get here, mama. My fiance's calling. He was my boyfriend at that time. And so I was on the phone with him, and I was telling him how like she was on her way to come pick me up, and I was scared. And when she finally got there, I got in the car, and I had been crying, so my eyes were probably like still puffy. I don't know if they were red, but I know they were puffy. And she was like, what's wrong? What did the doctor say? And like I was about to make something up. I was about to make something up and tell her that like I had like a sinus infection or something like that. And I just started crying, and I was like, I'm pregnant. And she just was looking at me, and I was just crying, and I had put my head down. And she was like, oh Lord. And she was like, Brittany, what are we gonna do with a baby? And it just made me cry. I'm about to cry now. I'm like, no. It just cause I can remember it. I remember that day like it was yesterday. And I just shook my head like I don't know. And I was just crying, and she was just like, okay. And it was just quiet. And then we ended up getting home and everything. Got my medicine and stuff like that. Got some food, got home, and she was like, you need to call your dad and tell him. And I was like, I will. But like before I called my dad, I was on the phone with my boyfriend again, my fiance. And he was like, you gonna tell your dad? And I was like, yeah. He was like, okay. Like we were both nervous, and he was like, I'm nervous. He was like, what's your daddy gonna say? I was like, I have no clue. Because my dad, he's like one of those so-say strict parents. He always got like a speech and stuff like to tell you. So I was like, I don't know, I'm nervous. Like I was the most nervous to tell him that I was pregnant, because I didn't know what he was gonna say, what he was gonna do, none of that. And so I was just like, don't tell him. Like I was like, I was on the phone with my boyfriend. I was like, you can tell your mama, but don't tell like nobody else. And I told my mama, don't tell nobody. I'm gonna tell you that in a second. But I called my daddy, and I told him I'm recording. I called my daddy, and I told him, and he was just, I was like, hey daddy, what you doing, and stuff like that. And I was just like, well daddy, I have something to tell you. And I was like, I tried not to cry. I didn't cry from my daddy, but I was like, I have something to tell you, and you're not gonna like it. And he was like, what? And I was like, I'm pregnant. Like I wasn't like sugarcoating nothing. I was just telling people like I'm pregnant. Like it is what it is, I'm pregnant. And he was like, okay. And he was like, I wish y'all would have waited until, you know, y'all got married. And he was like, but you're grown. Well, I was 20, so Yeah, like I wasn't in high school or nothing like that anymore. So he was like, you're grown, you can do what you gotta do, you know, take care of the baby. And he was like, I just wish I would have waited until I got married. And that was all he said. And I was like, I was ready to hear like a speech and just all type of stuff. Like I was ready for him to just blow up, but that was what he said. And I was just like, okay. And then I told him, I said, don't tell anybody. And then I ended up calling my boyfriend back and telling him what my dad said. And he was like, really, that's all he said? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, you sure? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, I was shocked too. Like I thought, like what I just told y'all. He was like, yeah, me too. And I was just like, they don't seem too mad. Like they were probably like disappointed, you know, because they wanted me to wait until I was married and all that kind of stuff like that. I understand that. But like once the months started going by, like they were excited, especially when they found out I was having a boy, because they only got 3 girls, and they were excited when I was having a boy. So like they were basically like that was their baby. And a couple of days went by, and we ended up going, I think, to my grandmother's house on my mama's side, so my mama's mom. And my grandma was asking me, like, you know, how I feel, how is everything, like, how's the pregnancy going and stuff like that. I'm kind of like blindsided because I never saw my grandmother yet. And so after like spending the day at her house and stuff, we come back home, and I'm like, Mama, how many knew? And she was like, well, I told her. I was like, Mama, didn't I tell you not to tell nobody? And she was like, well, that's just me. That's what we call my grandmother. And I was like, but Mama, I was like, I told you not to tell anybody, because what I wanted to do, which I did it, but all my family members pretty much knew. When I got my second trimester, it was like 20 weeks. That's still the second trimester, but I don't know. I had an ultrasound picture, and I put it on my social media and announced that I was pregnant. I'm pretty sure I still have the ultrasound picture, so if I still have it, I'm gonna insert it somewhere right here. But yeah, let everybody know I was pregnant during that time. But beforehand, like all my family, even my daddy told his sisters, his brothers, his mama, his dad, like everybody knew it all. And it's like I didn't even know all these people knew that I was pregnant, but I guess like they were just excited and they just wanted to tell people and stuff like that. But oh yeah, my sister's reaction, she was excited, okay? Like basically I was having this baby for her, okay? She what she asked me, she was like, when she found out, when Mama told her, she was like just excited. She was like, what am I having? You having a girl, you having a boy? And I was like, it's too early to tell yet. And she was like, well, you need to let me know. And she was like, cause I need to start buying stuff. And when we told her it was a boy, that was it, okay? She was real excited. Like we was all excited that we was having that we was having a boy, because we don't have no boys in the family. Like we have boys in the family, like cousins, but like the immediate family is just me, my mom, and my daddy, and my older sister, and then but she died. But yeah, it's just the 4 of us. And we didn't have no brothers, and so we was just all excited. But yeah, I'm trying to see. I don't really know my fiance's mom and sister's reaction. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how they felt about it or anything like that, but oh well. So that's it, y'all. I don't know, I feel like recording if my son is taking a nap. So I might record the next video on how I actually felt about being pregnant before everything. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye, y'all.